Hey guys, I just found this book that's in Latin. Looks pretty cool. It's got some human skin, it looks like, on it. But why don't we read some of these words out loud? That couldn't hurt anything, right?
That sounds like a bad idea.
Let's do it.
Kunda.
Estrada.
Montase.
Anda. Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Jacket Talk, where it's two guys, a girl, and a horror show. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by a guy who loves his share of demons. Isn't that right, Nathan?
Mm-hmm. Constantly summoning them.
Ooh.
Always.
It's a problem.
Yeah, it kind of infests people's homes in the neighborhood. They're getting kind of mad at me.
Dang, you're a menace, man.
A little bit.
And I'm joined by a girl who loves to read Latin. Isn't that right, Jill?
I actually did take a Latin course in university.
Oh, yeah?
I don't remember anything.
That's fine. It's a dead language anyway.
Exactly. It's dead for a reason. It's freaking hard.
Speaking of dead, we watched The Evil Dead from 2013. This is not the OG. This is the remake reimagining, written and directed by Fede Álvarez, who just did the new Alien movie, right? Alien Romulus. The screenplay was also written by Rodo Sayagas. I'm not a good person with names, so please forgive me if I butchered that. What's cool, though, is also uncredited was our good friend Diablo Cody.
Our girl.
Really?
Yeah. Who, now it's listed that she did script revisions, but I've seen a ton of rumors that have said that she is really responsible for the script we ended up actually seeing on film.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
the two writers, English wasn't their first language, so they co-wrote the script, and Diablo Cody kind of like edited it to make it more American.
So she's responsible for the dog death and we should cancel her is what you're saying.
I don't know about that, but like maybe.
It's
Rest
time
in
to
peace, Grandpa.
Oh my God, you started out with such a hard thing to think and talk about right away.
I am sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. Let's play the budget game and cheer everybody up. This movie had a budget of $17 million. Do you know how much it grossed at the box office? Nathan, what do you think?
I don't even have an educated guess on this. I have no idea how well it did. But I'm going to say it did all right. Maybe 70 million.
All right, Jill.
I know the answer.
Oh.
It's 97.5 million, right?
Oh, okay.
You're right. Yep.
So it did real well.
Actually, Nathan, you're pretty close not knowing.
Not too bad, yeah. Not having any clue at all.
Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, Evil Dead 2013 has a 63% critic score and a 64% audience score. So almost the same score. That never happens, right?
I mean, it's closer than you think a lot of the time, to be honest with you. But it is rare for it to be that close, yes.
But what did we think of this movie? Now, before we go any further, if you guys could please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because when we have another video, you'll be the first to know. Isn't that right, Nathan?
Yes, it's a privilege.
I was going to ask Jill, but I was like, Nathan's just waiting to say the line. Waiting to say the line.
That can never be mine. That is Nathan's until he dies.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this was Jill's pick for an episode. So, Jill, why did you choose for us to review Evil Dead 2013?
So I chose Evil Dead 2013 because I am a really big fan of all of the Evil Dead movies. And this is probably my favorite one in the franchise besides Evil Dead 2. It's just such a good time. And I think it's such a good modern like contribution to a classic horror franchise. Fede Álvarez, who we talked about, he just did Alien Romulus, which I went to go see and I really liked. And I knew I was going to like it because I loved Evil Dead 2013. I think he does a great job of honoring like the stock material or like honoring that brand, but also making it modern, putting his own spin on it. And yeah, this is one I rewatch all the time, and I thought it would just be a fun movie for us to review.
You know what? I want to ask you if you know this or not, because I had seen that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were also listed as executive producers on this movie.
Yeah.
Did they have their like full blessing, do you know, to go ahead with this Evil Dead vision?
I'm assuming so, yeah. I think they were totally on board for it.
They had to be, right? Because they were executive producers on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just kind of like one of those things where they're like trying to get a little, you know, money from their franchise sort of deal. Like kind of John Carpenter-esque.
Yeah, I think Bruce Campbell actually posted on Reddit before it was like greenlit or whatever and said like, there's going to be a new Evil Dead movie. We're working on it. It's awesome, which kind of caused some hype on the internet. But I think everyone was pretty like for it.
I want to start right away with some hot fire.
Okay.
Why isn't this movie talked about more in the sense of being known as maybe the moniker, the scariest movie ever? Because I don't know about you, but there's some things in this movie that are like really terrifying for most normal, everyday movie fans. I think that this movie kind of goes above and beyond a lot of horror movies. You don't think so, Nathan?
No, I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really great gore effects, but a gore effect on its own does not a scary movie make. I liked this movie, but I was laughing at some of those gore effects rather than being afraid of them. I mean, there was a few in there that made me cringe, but you know, the over the top ones, I was laughing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I wouldn't call that scary. If I'm laughing, I'm not scared, you know.
The original Evil Dead movies, especially Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, are like very campy, but also like kind of like stupid campy gore. Yeah. And this movie doesn't have that camp at all. So it kind of, I feel like it makes up for that, but with all the like really crazy blood and just like stupid things like slipping on someone's like cheek skin on the floor. Like, so it's, you know, it takes it seriously, but it's like kind of like stupid gore. So I like that twist.
I mean, when Mia took the chainsaw and stuck it into zombie Mia's head, that's who that was, right? It was like herself.
Like her doppelganger.
And the blood is just spraying all over the place like a shower. I laughed for a good little while there at how just crazy and over the top that was.
No, I got you. You know what? That leads into a question I have for Jill, because Jill had said that she is a fan of all the Evil Dead movies, right? Now, you had mentioned about the original Evil Dead movies being very campy, and this, not so much. But you prefer this one. You like this one the best, you were saying.
It's tough because I really, really love Evil Dead 2. It's just iconic, like the level of camp and like just the things that it did at the time. So I would say it's kind of a tie, but I really love Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah, because I think I'm just wondering for like fans of the original Evil Dead if they really like this one too, because
I think most of them do.
Okay, yeah, because this one takes the Evil Dead and, you know, appreciates everything it did, but it goes in a different direction. Like Nathan's saying, much like different. There's some comical, kind of unintentional comical parts, you know, whereas the Evil Dead relied on the camp and the comical sense of what it was.
It's definitely a different kind of funny than I have a confession to make. I have not seen either of the first two Evil Dead movies. I have only seen Army of Darkness and Ash versus the Evil Dead, the first season. I have an idea of what kind of tone the movies take, and I was actually quite surprised because I was sort of expecting that tone for this one because this is the first time I saw it. But it's definitely a different kind of comedy. There's no like shop smart, and there's no honey, you got real ugly, or you know.
Yeah. There's no one-liners in this one.
No. The dialogue isn't funny. It's just the over-the-topness, you know.
I want to say one thing. Did you guys go see Alien Romulus yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
No,
No,
not yet.
Okay. There's one very controversial thing about that movie already is that they take a very beloved line from Aliens and they kind of regurgitate it in this movie. You see it coming. And some people like it, but a lot of people were real cringed out by it. And so, you know, being the same director, I went back and rewatched this after seeing Alien Romulus to see if there was any like kind of egregious kind of like fan service going on that people would be mad about. And I couldn't find anything. Like everything is pretty subtle. Except at the very end in the credits.
The end, right.
Yeah, but that's like in the credits. So I'll let it slide when he says groovy.
Groovy.
I think, though, there's a little bit of fan service, too.
Oh, yeah.
When she rips her arm off.
Yeah.
And
Chainsaw, too.
Mia becomes like the female Ash. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That didn't bother me because I think it was like a crescendo type of moment, you know, where it does do a little fan service. But I don't know. I'm of the belief that like fan service, if done the right way, is like cool. Like I think it's done good because you do have your core audience that loves those original movies and you're kind of doing it to honor them. Yeah. But there is a line. You don't want to beat them over the head with that too much either. So
my thing with fan service is I don't know what the difference between good fan service is and bad fan service is. I know that there's some that I like and some that I don't, and I have no idea why. Like at the end of the last Star Wars movie, when Chewbacca finally gets his medal, I was like, for fuck's sake. This is an internet conversation that you put on the screen. Yeah. Like this has been the joke for 50 years and you put it on the screen because it's an internet joke. And so that's bad. Yeah. Mia getting a chainsaw, that didn't bother me at all. I thought it was pretty great. So
I think to your point, fan service and too much fan service, I think depends on the actual fan and like what they're willing to.
It is subjective, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Except, you know, I just meant like beating you over with it when
all the
movie becomes too much about the fan service and not enough about your actual movie of what you're showing people, you know?
Like the second Jurassic World movie where it's like every 15, 20 minutes, they're showing you something from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Nathan, what's your overall thoughts on Evil Dead 2013? This is your first watch, you said.
It is my first watch. Yeah. I liked it quite a bit. I was a little at the beginning surprised that it did not take the Evil Dead tone that I was expecting. I was expecting some of the one-liners and the goofiness. It's what I really like about Army of Darkness and Ash versus the Evil Dead. It's the biggest thing I like about those movies. It didn't have that, but it was still pretty fun. I didn't really give a fuck about any of the characters, like, at all. But they weren't actively annoying me, which is a plus, unlike, the Friday the 13th remake.
Oh, yeah. I was comparing these two a lot.
This one is far superior, in my opinion. By like a lot.
I don't know. This movie was missing Trent.
Yeah.
Carry on, Nathan.
But I really liked it. I'm not in love with it. I don't think I like it as much as you do, Jill.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's. But I did enjoy it quite a bit. Once it gets going, it never stops. And that's one of the things that's really great about it, which again, comparing it to the Friday the 13th remake where it starts and then stops and then and a whole bunch of boring stuff in between it starting and stopping.
Jill, can you rewatch this a lot? Is this one of your go-to watches?
Yeah, I rewatched it a month ago, and I was looking at my Letterboxd diary and activity on it. And I watched it a year ago. Was the last time I rewatched it, and I've seen it before then as well. So it's something I kind of put on like every year. I also just rewatched Evil Dead Rise because they're both on the same platform, Max, right now. And I feel like I'm one of the few people who also likes Evil Dead Rise. A lot of people hated it. I don't think it's as good as Evil Dead 2013. But yeah, I think it's a very rewatchable movie. Like I said, I watched it like a month ago and rewatched it today, and I was captivated the whole time. But Kevin, we haven't heard how you feel about it.
This is one that I watched right in probably 2013 when it was first released. And I remember actually kind of having a similar thought as Nathan, like, wait, this isn't doing any of the, over the top campy stuff that the originals did. This is something else. And then I do remember like really liking it, but being like, whoa, there is a lot of fucked up shit in this movie. Like, it is a lot.
It's pretty over the top.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking, why this movie doesn't get the scariest movie moniker, because there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of images in this movie. Even with the gore, I know what you're saying about the gore effects, and, a lot of it is reliant on that. But, I mean, it's one of those movies that sticks with you. This was my second watch, and I will never, ever get that cutting the face scene out of my head from 2013.
That was pretty great.
Yeah. That's in there. And you know what it reminds me of now that I've seen Hereditary is that same fucking with the piano wire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's oof.
I don't know, but the piano wire, there's something about the way that was done that
that's terrifying. I feel like
You're right.
That is just so over the top that I don't take it seriously personally. Like,
no, I agree.
Nathan said, it's so over the top, and I'm a person who loves over the top, like total edgelord. Like the more gore, the better. So this is why this is like up my alley. But yeah, I don't find it scary, but it's effective. It's a good time.
That face cutting scene is definitely effective. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It makes you. Ooh.
Yeah, and the foreshadowing with the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the book opens and you can see like the different, like the burning, right? First.
And then you realize, oh, this is going to happen. And it's not going to look nice.
Vicious.
Yeah.
That whole scene I kind of like a lot though too, where she's leaving the bathroom. There is the foreshadowing. She's leaving the bathroom and then just stops. But we don't see like the top of her,
Right.
But we get the idea that she's possessed because obviously, like, I do like the idea that like she urinates herself, right? But it's like she's lost control of her body is what that's showing. And now the demon's in control. So I like that, how that was all
The
shot.
Exorcist.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Exorcist in this movie.
You know what, though? The Exorcist is kind of like the blueprint for a lot of possession, no?
Yeah. I wanted to bring up The Exorcist, actually, because I'm not a fan of The Exorcist. So sorry to everyone. But I don't like religious possession. It doesn't do it for me. But when it comes to like a demonic possession, for some reason, I'm like really into that. And that's why I love The Evil Dead, even though it's basically The Exorcist, but like without the Catholicism.
Right.
But what did you guys think?
I don't know. I just saw Exorcist references all over this movie.
Right.
From her peeing herself and the way the demon would talk through people. At no point did they say your mother sucks cocks in hell, but it wouldn't have been out of place.
You know what, though? Mia, in her zombie-like state, did tell her brother she would suck his cock.
Why don't you come down here so I can suck your cock, pretty boy?
Mia.
Mia's not here, you fucking idiot! Your little sister's being raped in hell!
That was crazy.
And he said your sister's getting raped in hell, actually.
So that's kind of an Exorcist nod, too, a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was all over. Nice little homages.
I always think with religion possession, there's always this like good and evil sort of debate with it, right? And with this, it's just like pure evil. Like, I don't know. There's with religious possession too, there's always like some sort of hope that they can do an exorcism, right? Too. And then they show that dynamic. With this, it's like there's no exorcism. They have to what? There's 3 ways, according to the book, that they can end this.
And they all involve killing the host. So
right. So there's no saving.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's no hope at all. Then you get the car battery defibrillator.
Yeah.
So he created hope out of thin air.
The ending, right? He didn't want to burn the house down with her in it.
Right.
Is that what happened? And instead he wanted to bury her alive?
Because that's one of the ways you get, you cleanse the soul or whatever. But he cheated and he brought her back with the car battery defibrillator. He came up with a plan without telling us about it, basically, and then executed it. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of clever. It's a kind of thing that often I might not like, but the way it was done, I thought it was pretty clever and fun.
I feel like that's something Ash would have done. You know, like he's very like resourceful with things he's finding in that shed or whatever, with dealing with these monsters. So I love that as well. I thought it was like a little respectful spin
to Ash's MacGyver tendencies.
Yeah.
But by choosing this path, right, he unintentionally gets Eric. That's his name, right? Eric killed.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Eric already dead pretty much?
No.
He
he got stabbed like a lot with the and messed up. You're right.
And then the blonde chick hit him over the head and in the hands with a crowbar a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
After she took off one of her arms. That was another image that kind of made me laugh, is after she's chopped off one of her arms and she's hitting the dude with the crowbar. And then what's his name? The main character there. David shoots off her other arm and she just turns around and she's got like she's got no arms left, and it's like,
well shit.
Well shit, what you gonna do now?
It's almost like she was like, well played.
Yeah. It reminded me of the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Victory is mine. We thank thee, Lord, that in thy mouth.
Come on, then.
What? How about you?
She's gonna bite your ankles.
Oh my God. Listen. I'm not against what David did, because I hate Eric. He is my least
Eric's
favorite
the
character.
Worst,
oh
dude.
my God, he's the worst. What kind of assholes like opens this book, right?
Me.
This
barbed wire in a garbage bag.
I'm opening that book.
First of all, okay, you're
off
Eric,
the island. You are Eric. Look,
you're not an asshole, though. I don't see you as an asshole.
Okay, well, because I mean, I'll be honest, I don't believe in ghosts or demons or ancient evils, and if there's a book that somebody doesn't want me to get into for some reason,
God,
I'm gonna be curious as fuck.
Shit.
Yeah.
Jill, we're
you
never
take me on
going
a camping
to a
trip.
cabin.
We find a book.
No.
You gotta keep that shit away from me because I'm opening it.
Not going camping.
No cabin for you, Nathan.
No.
My God, we'll have to tie him up.
Get him a hotel.
Put him in a chair.
Is Olivia the nurse? Olivia's the nurse.
Yeah.
She's the worst character, not Dave.
Damn.
You don't like Olivia?
She's just an RN, not a doctor.
Yeah, she's awful. I despise her.
Why do you despise her?
Because it was her idea to bring Mia out into the woods to detox. What kind of place is that to detox? And
That's
then
a good
like
point.
they're like, oh, we need to get her to the hospital, and she's like, I'm giving the same treatment she would get at the hospital.
Don't you think we should take her to a hospital?
I feel like we're in over our heads here.
Okay, I am giving her the exact same treatment she would get at a hospital.
And it's like, no, you're fucking not, you moron. That's not how that works.
I believed it, so I'm just a dummy. I was like, oh yeah, she's probably right. She knows, right?
No.
Trust
she's
Olivia.
a lying piece of shit.
We can trust Olivia. Look at her.
No, you cannot trust Olivia. She said the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Hospitals have like things in place for any eventuality. They're in the middle of nowhere, and she's got like 2 vials of freaking sedative, and and that's it. And she's saying, "Oh, this is the same treatment as the hospital."
I don't know enough about detox to have an opinion.
I'll tell you this much: I detoxed once in my life off alcohol. There is no way you're getting me out into the woods to do that. No way. That shit sucks, and I'm not doing it in the woods
shit anyways. So. Well, now I'm gonna see that every time I watch it.
I thought it was a clever kind of plot line that she was detoxing, because especially when the start of the possession happens, there's like, this is just the detoxing part. You know?
Yeah, they've got an excuse to not treat it as a supernatural thing. Like they've got an explanation for it.
I actually thought they could have played more with that too. I don't think they did enough of that, because I think it would have been cool to see them all starting like little by little to be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know?
Right.
And then fucking Eric finally says, oh yeah, I read this book. Dude. He waited so long to say anything to anybody. Why?
Because he's going to sound crazy. And he knows he's going to sound crazy.
We're friends. I've said plenty of fucked up shit. But you're my friend. I can say fucked up shit to you. That's the way it works.
If you tell me that you think we accidentally summoned a demon, I'm going to be like, Kevin, you're crazy. That's not possible.
But you're the one who's going to have summoned it.
Point taken.
True.
I will say that I really like that in doing so, you have this like metaphor of addiction with also possession and like losing control of your body and just like being a different person. And I really like it. I think they executed that pretty well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if that was on purpose, but maybe it was. But it worked really well.
I thought it was just because they talked about like the mentally ill mother. So it was a lot of that in there as well. And that's the whole reason why David wasn't in the picture. And he left her, his little sister, with the sick mother. Right. And then she has a bunch of trauma, which probably led to her like becoming addicted to heroin or whatever it was.
Whatever she threw down that well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, also, whatever is in that well is having a good time. I would have loved for like a drugged up like demon to come out of that. That would have been so funny. Would have been like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Territory.
Or a bear.
Could have played around with something like, Cocaine Bear?
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
This could have been a merge of 2 different movies.
I love Cocaine Bear.
I do too.
I'm not going to lie. I like Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do it on the show.
I feel like I liked it way more than I was supposed to.
Hell yeah.
Jill, though, I like that take on addiction and what the possession sort of deal too. And I wonder also if it maybe continues also to killing your friends off, like getting, being by yourself, and even more so at the end when you're kind of killing off who you were with her killing her zombie version of her.
Is like a metaphor for alienating your friends, you mean? Sort of like?
Yeah. Because like drug addiction takes you over, you kill off your friendships and you kill off who you are and everything like that. So,
right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Just looking into it a little bit deeper. Speaking of deeper, holy shit, another trapdoor. We just covered the cabin in the woods for Mouths of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This has that trapdoor in the I never want to go to a place with a fucking trapdoor in the middle of my living room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I would do attics, but I think I would do a basement.
What's
I don't know
scarier?
why. The attic should be less scary.
Attic is less scary.
But for some reason, I'm real scared of attics.
Really?
Yeah. This is a weird conversation, but When I was a kid, my bedroom had an attic in my closet, and I was scared shitless that like something would like, dip its head underneath like the hole and just like be staring at me when I woke up. I don't know, man.
That's creepy.
So I don't do attics, but I'll do basement all day long.
Yeah.
Cellar.
I mean, I guess I get I go into the basement all the time to do my laundry, so I'm
Spooky.
not allowed to be afraid of the basement, or else I have to wear dirty clothes.
You're like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
I was just gonna say that. I'm so traumatized by that furnace.
It's only my imagination. Only my imagination.
I was so scared of it.
It's a scary furnace. Like, holy
as a kid.
shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my furnace is nothing like that, so.
Do furnaces look like that? I've never seen a furnace look like that furnace.
Maybe they did back when that movie came out. I don't know.
They made it like real scary.
They were like, we need the
See the fire
scariest
in there?
furnace. Right. You could see a big fire in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of things looking real or not, one thing I do like about this movie is that it doesn't use any CGI, except for like touch-ups at the end.
I have a hard time believing that.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it's Alvarez is like he has a background in CGI and he didn't want it to look like cheap or anything. So they filmed like 70 days like at nighttime to like achieve a lot of this. And also they were like trying to figure out ways to like, make like sneak visuals in there, like in different like facets. I don't know. But yeah, I think they really killed it.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All the gore effects look really amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because I was reading an article about Alien Romulus, and Fede Álvarez was talking about how they wanted more practical effects for that movie. And I know, like, Nathan, you've shown me the video series on, CGI with...
Studios lie about that all the time.
This scene was filmed on blue screen. There is a blue screen here, and you can see they've badly removed it and inserted the desert background to look like one of the production department's backdrops. Warner Brothers has done a complete blue screen removal on 45 minutes of bonus material, because they'd rather do that than just talk about the tens of millions of dollars of great visual effects they used for the $1 billion box office success.
And so do directors and actors. They all lie about it because there's a hatred for CGI, which in my opinion makes no sense. I hate bad looking effects, whether they're practical or CG. And if the CG is good, you can't tell. You can't tell. You know? So
we need to debunk this. Do some scholarly research.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just something that drives me a little nuts because those CG artists don't get the credit that they deserve because studios are lying about what is and isn't CG.
I hear you. I think that these effects are really good. Like, I don't think they look, fake by any means. And if it's practical, like, that's awesome. If there's CGI, you're none the wiser anyways. So I think it's a good balance of, using these scary effects to make it look as real as possible. And I don't think they go over the top campy either, because some of the original Deadites from Evil Dead were very like over the top kind of campy looking.
Yeah.
This looks like, whoa, these people are possessed. They're fucked up.
Yeah, they look like people who are sick almost in a way, like regular people who are sick, but then also when they deform themselves, but it doesn't look like fantasy demonic, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
The way like all those zombies did in like Army of Darkness or Ash versus the Evil Dead.
I'll tell you what was brutal was when she fucking, or not she, but the demon turned the hot water on the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just scalding her, and like you could see those big bubbles forming and shit.
Talking about furnaces that are scary. Anyway.
Yes.
But I was like, wait a minute, what is on fire that's making the water like heat up? I didn't understand that, but I got the idea that
it must be some sort of old-fashioned furnace that we're not familiar with.
Yeah, that's I thought that was brutal.
Nasty scene. Yeah, that was brutal. And that's when they finally decide to take the addict to a hospital. Mm-hmm. What they should have done to begin with.
I like where she's in the car and the river or whatever is or the road's flooded, right? The river's over the road. And they pan to her in the car, and she's got the foam. She looks like she's half dead, but she almost gives that kind of sick smile, like we're not going anywhere.
Right? Yeah. That smile was real subtle, but it was like enough that you definitely pick up on it. Yeah. That was pretty. It was a good touch.
And like the road being like washed out was very like original Evil Dead as well. It was one of the nods that I liked.
Yeah, I liked that too. Yeah, that was again another kind of subtle nod. Can we talk about the worst part of this movie? The freaking dog dying. Grandpa.
Man. I'm glad they didn't show it on screen though. Like I'll give them that. But how dare they? It's so early on.
That dog didn't. Well, they kind of. Well, no, they had Mia. The focus was on Mia for that shot, right? But you know that she hit the dog with a hammer. And that's that dog. He was a cute dog.
Nice dog.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the dog, I knew it was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
Dog didn't have nearly enough screen time either. I wanted more of the cute dog.
Yes, please.
That would have made it harder, though, to watch.
Well.
But he didn't have to die.
No. More screen time, less death, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the ending is just him like walking away from like the burning cabin. Mm-hmm. Everyone's dead, but the dog is like, I'm out of here.
Dog can be the final girl. It's fine.
Yes, final dog.
Final dog, yes.
Just walks away.
For sure.
That would have been a good ending. I like that.
Yeah.
Here for it.
And
speaking of
running around in the blood rain, like
Dude, play some like Slayer, and the dog's just walking out.
Yeah.
Man, that's like a good like Rob Zombie ending. Speaking of endings, I know we touched on it earlier, but what are your thoughts on the ending? Did you guys like the ending? Because it's kind of, I don't know, it's ambiguous a little bit that she is now okay. I don't know. Like, what's up with the ending?
Yeah, I think she's okay now. Like, she's no longer possessed, and she sent that demon like back to the other dimension, whatever.
Right.
But she does leave the book behind and doesn't do anything about the book. And then like you see the stuff in the credits. I'm also wondering if that's supposed to tie into Evil Dead Rise, because I'm not sure if it's the same book or not, but maybe that's the one they found like after this. I don't know if they're connected like that, but
yeah, I was gonna ask you because I saw Evil Dead Rise and I was trying to remember if there was a connection to this one at all, but other than finding the book, it didn't seem like there was an actual connection to this Evil Dead.
Yeah, that one is very ambiguous. Like, how did it end up there? So, they're probably not connected in any way, but I'm pretty sure this one is supposed to be like same timeline universe as like the original, and it's just like current day 2013, same cabin, whatever.
I liked the end. I tend not to like endings where nobody survives. So the fact that she survived, and I think it seems to me that she's all right. That she has been separated from the demon that came up out of the ground. I will say, like, after he buried her alive and then brought her back with the defibrillator made out of a car battery, not sure if that's possible, but I'll leave that alone. I was like, oh, this is the fake ending, right? And then the other shoe is going to drop and they're going to do something and it's going to be annoying. And I was just waiting for it. And then the other shoe dropped and I thought it was great. You know, and they didn't just do like Because I was sort of expecting like, oh, something's going to come out of the ground and kill them both. And that's your sequel bait ending or whatever. But instead, it was like an actual climax that was a lot of fun. And I felt like we got a real ending. I was fine with David dying. I didn't care much about him. But,
yeah,
you know.
Same.
Dang. I just didn't want it to be Eric, even if it was Deadeye Eric.
I was actually a little bit surprised that Eric didn't get it earlier. Because I was thinking, you know, don't you punish the guy who brought him back, brought everything?
Yeah, he summoned it.
Yeah, but don't you usually punish the guy who summoned it like close to first?
I didn't care, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, he got what was coming to him. He got pretty brutalized in this movie.
First, he got stabbed by Olivia over and over and over again. And then he got hit with a crowbar over and over and over again.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But he deserved it.
Sure did.
Here's my question going forward. I know there is Evil Dead Rise. Do you want to keep seeing more Evil Dead movies? Because it seems like what you said with not really a tie-in to this movie, but just finding the book there. I mean, it seems like they could make more and more of these, no?
I'm kind of scared of that. I feel like they should stop. Like, don't make any more. Because Evil Dead Rise was shat on so heavily. Like, I don't think there's a chance for anyone really respecting another Evil Dead movie unless it's real good. Right. You know what I mean? But I think the show, I still haven't seen it, but I think the show is a good place to explore that option and just, you know, do things in episode form where they're not so like final, you know what I mean? Not like a movie, like on a bigger scale. Right. Where
I'm going to say the same thing I say about all the old properties. Like, if it's good, I'll watch it. But I'm not rooting for it to happen. I'm just not, especially since Bruce Campbell's starting to get old, and I would really much rather there be an Evil Dead with Bruce Campbell and that tone and the jokes and all that. And you cannot ever have someone else play Ash. You cannot do that. That character, once Bruce Campbell's done playing him, that character's gone now.
You know what you said, I want to ask, because I feel like some of these newer horror movies are missing out on a lot of this camp that a lot of us love from the older movies. How can they not do some of this for the newer generation, you think, or it just would fall flat for them?
They haven't tried, it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Am I crazy for saying that?
I don't think they have.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2000 was like the cutoff for horror movies being fun and funny. And now everything needs to be super serious.
I will say though, I said this before, Bodies, 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 I think is the new generation's like campy slasher.
Okay. Like the new gen Scream, basically.
Yeah. And they do it by like making fun of their own generation. Like being addicted to your phone or like, you know, whatever is like, is cringy, you know? I think it's hard to do. It's hard to be campy and to be a horror movie, to be taken seriously, to have that like level of gore that people like. You got to have like the storyline and the effects. It's a lot to do. And honestly, horror as a genre as a whole, like a lot of people don't like it because they think it's kind of like cringy, particularly campy slashers.
Yeah. Horror is probably the genre that is most easy to make fun of. I don't know. I feel like you could do something campy again. I feel like it hasn't been tried, and they should try it. I haven't seen Bodies, 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 though, so maybe I ought to check that one out.
You know, Evil Dead 2013 made a ton of money, and it's shown that, like, hey, we can do this scary and make it good and make people want to see it. So maybe that's some of it too, where like I don't know. But that's 2013. Like me and Nathan were talking earlier. This is over 10 years ago.
This is an 11-year-old movie. Yeah,
we're old.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah. I still call it the new Evil Dead movie.
Even though one came out 10 years later.
God. Well, maybe we need an Evil Dead movie every 10 years or so. Seems like that's the trend.
Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't mind seeing Bruce Campbell come back and portraying Ash one more time on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, Ash versus the Evil Dead wasn't that long ago, was it? Like 5 or 6 years ago? And he was great in that show.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first season. I think there's 3 seasons. But he was hilarious. He was everything I expected Ash to be. Like, he did not lose a step from Army of Darkness at all. So maybe he can do it. I wonder if he wants to, though, you know?
Right.
Because he's been playing that character a long time.
Listen, I'm going to put us in the new financiers, producers of these large movie companies. We take Bruce Campbell and we do what all the other, IPs are doing, and we bring him back for the first one, and we have him introduce us to a new group of younger characters.
Right.
And then we get 3 more movies out of The Evil Dead.
Yeah. We're not.
I don't know. Oh no, it's so scary. Like I just don't want that. I don't want the whole like series to become a joke. You know what I mean? Like I like the amount of respect that it has in the horror community, and it deserves it. And I think it should kind of like stay that way.
And do you think that's partly because there actually isn't a whole hell of a lot of material in the series? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
it's kind of the same stories.
No, I mean, there isn't a whole hell of a lot of movies, and whereas there's like 17 Jason movies and 72 Halloweens.
Probably has something to do with it, you know,
because it hasn't been given time to become shit.
I don't want it to happen.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
I will say I was pleasantly surprised by how good and creative the cinematography was in this movie.
Yes.
There was a lot of really cool lighting and stuff going on, a lot of really cool shots. We didn't even talk about the tree scene.
That's like one of my faves.
You're talking about where she gets wrapped up.
Yeah.
And the molesting tree.
The angry molesting tree.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. Terrifying, really. It was one of the only moments in that movie that made me like,
yeah.
Like I'm actually, please don't. Yeah. Oh, no, they did.
Jane Levy, who plays Mia, I think she does a great job carrying this movie. Like everyone, I think the acting is pretty good on, most everybody, but like she is so good.
The blonde was not good at all. But
Natalie,
yeah, she was terrible.
Everybody
else was pretty decent, but
she made like a good bimbo, like throwaway character. She's just somebody's girlfriend, and she's on this trip, and she doesn't have much of a personality. Like I didn't even know her name because they just call each other babe all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know what? That reminds me. Did they tease a little bit of something with Olivia and David at the beginning?
How's it going, Mr. Hot Shit City Boy?
Hey, Olivia.
Come here. 2 arms, please, like you missed me.
Like a former romance or something like that? Because they had this weird thing.
I felt that vibe between them, too. It seemed like there might have been something.
I was thinking they would play on that more throughout and show more of this interesting dynamic, because now he's with his new girlfriend. And it was just kind of like they were all just cool with each other. I don't know. It was weird. But I agree with you. The actress who played Mia, she did really, really good. I mean,
she had a tough part to play too. She basically had to play 2 characters. That's always impressive to me.
The atmosphere in this is so good.
Oh, it's pretty perfect. Yeah.
They set the tone pretty immediately. They don't waste time.
Oh, yeah, that was such a great opening.
Yes.
Opening is so good.
It's really good. Yeah.
First, the fog through the woods. That's just so creepy.
You gotta have the fog in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like perfection. And then of course we get the dad burning his kid alive. And that was just like, whoa, we're starting here, huh? Okay, cool.
I thought that was cool too, because it looked like, all these backwoods people captured this girl, and you're thinking she's gonna get tortured, and she's like this demon.
I just want you to hold me and take me home. Please stop. I will rip your soul out, Daddy.
and she acts so innocent.
That was a really good subversion of expectations. Was the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah,
it was really good.
Anything else?
I got one thing. It's mostly for you, Kevin, and any of the wrestling nerds that may watch this show.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here.
Oh my god! All right, Bash in Berlin.
Yes.
You got CM Punk getting the bracelet off of Drew McIntyre before he hits that last button.
Yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah.
Okay, Evil Dead.
Yep.
Before Mia is about to leave at the very end, after she's gone through all of this turmoil, you know, she's got her arm taken off. She just like fought a demon, sent it back. She goes back to that necklace. That necklace her brother gave her, and she takes it and then leaves. And I was like, they're the same. They are the same. And I love it. That is all I have to say.
That's the reference I had no idea we were going to make tonight. Mia and CM Punk together.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you two are talking about.
I love it. Hey, sometimes a piece of jewelry has more meaning than a world title, Nathan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes a piece of jewelry, has more meaning than your arm.
When you suddenly became very Canadian.
Jewelry.
That's a tough word.
It's a hard word to say.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
Yeah.
Jeweler.
It's kind of like Latin. I think we're ready for quote or kill.
Well, yeah, we've been ready for like 20 minutes.
Nathan's ready to go to bed. He is so done with this.
Sorry, Nathan.
No.
I'll get on quick with mine.
I'm joking.
My quote is from Eric. And even though I hate him, but he had a good quote. He said, yeah, right. He said,
"Don't die on me, please. It wouldn't be so bad right now. I just don't want to become the devil's bitch."
I just don't want to become the devil's bitch.
That is a good one.
That was clever.
Yeah, that was pretty clever.
Death-wise, they're all kind of ambiguous because they become deadites, sort of. But again, like the face cutting and going after Eric. I mean, that whole scene where they're in the bathroom was just was my favorite because it's ingrained in my mind forever.
That's a great scene. That's when things really start to go south for everyone instead of just Mia.
Right. That's when shit hits the fan, really. Nathan, how about you?
My favorite quote is also from Eric, because apparently he's the best character in the movie, because he's all of our favorite quotes.
He's Nathan. Look at him.
David says,
"Promise that everything's gonna be fine. Okay, baby." She just cut her fucking arm off. Does that sound fine?
Does that sound fine?
That is something you would say.
I might.
In the moment, I feel.
I might say that, yes.
You are Eric.
I just found that line to be one of the funnier ones in the movie. So I liked that one a lot. I was originally going to go with Olivia's death as my favorite death, but you took it. So I'm going to go with Zombie Mia getting the chainsaw to the face and then getting cut down the middle all the way down with just gallons upon gallons of blood just spraying everywhere all over Mia. Agreed. It was great. It was great. I had
Jill.
so much fun with that.
Fave quote, I'm not going to quote it, but it's when Mia offers her pretty boy brother a blowjob.
Will you come down here so I can suck your cock, pretty boy?
I think that's wild. For kill, before I talk about kills, I just gotta mention my other two favorite scenes. I'm gonna be annoying.
Go ahead.
So I feel like the ending in this movie is unmatched. You got the raining blood, the chainsaw.
Rain was great.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Fuck. The blood-soaked dress, you got Mia ripping off her arm. It's just so fucking good. So metal. The most metal thing I've ever seen in my life. Love it. Also, we talked about the tree scene with like the brambles and the vines, and I think that looks really good. Very spooky. Gotta talk about the electric knife. Because
Oh,
when I saw that
Chekhov's
electric
gun.
knife,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be like an Evil Dead 2 when Ash and like his severed hand or whatever are just like battling and all this kind of stuff. So
I
like
was
it brought me
waiting
back
for the
to
hand
that.
to like get up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I love that kind. Yes, I love that. I thought Natalie's death, before Natalie's death, sorry, when she is like cutting off her arm, I think is so brutal. And then you got like Mia in the cellar door, like telling her not to do it, which I think is hilarious.
You little bitch, don't cut it off. Fuck you.
Like unexpectedly funny,
Yes.
while like the blood is like spraying all over her face. She's like trying not to vomit. Brutal. And then I also really like the bathroom scene with the slip on the flap of the cheek skin. It's so funny to me.
Yeah.
I like you see it again.
Yeah.
Chekhov's bloody cheek on the floor.
Right.
Banana peel. It's going down.
Yeah.
So, God, so many good scenes in this.
Yeah.
Gnarly, dude.
I really love the image of Mia poking her head from that trap door,
Yeah.
right? And it reminds me a lot of the image I love in Evil Dead Rise of the mom over the bathtub.
The bathtub. I
Yeah.
love that too.
Haven't seen Evil Dead
Same
Rise yet.
kind of image where it's
Yeah.
not their full, like you don't see everything. You see
I think
a
it's in the
little bit.
trailer, Nathan, if you haven't seen the movie.
I haven't seen the trailer either, but
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I don't watch trailers anymore, or at least I try
Gotta go
not
in
to.
cold.
Yeah, if we're
Right.
not watching the trailer on the show, I'm not watching it at
Okay.
all.
Well, the bath scene is also iconic and so scary. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Rise. Sue me.
Oh, I liked a lot of things in Rise.
We
This
like
is
a
not a
couple of
Rise
controversial
review.
movies here, so
We'll talk about Rise another day.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, someday we'll cover Halloween Ends and see how many people piss their pants that all three of us like it.
God.
Maybe by that time it will become one of those movies that people are like, you know what? This ain't a bad movie. This ain't a bad movie.
I will not say anything right now. You'll have to wait.
Right.
Ooh. We're on to our final rating. We're going to rate this movie from 1 to 5 stars. 5 is Mia ripping her own arm off and grabbing the chainsaw and doing away with her zombie version. 1 is Eric reading that Latin out loud like a little son of a bitch he is.
Yeah.
For me, this is 4.5 stars. I like this movie a lot. I think again, coming back to the moniker, this might be one of the scarier movies out there. I think just from a general audience idea, because if people aren't super into horror movies and you show them this one, they would be like, holy shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I love the gore effects. I love some of the visuals, like we talked about with Mia poking her head out, the cutting scene of the face. Oh my God. The atmosphere is awesome in this. Things I don't like is the dog dying, but what can you do? I mean, I don't know. I love Halloween, but he kills dogs in there too. So
Yeah. In almost every movie.
for me, this is one I can't rewatch all the time, and that's why I'm taking away that half a star. I just think it's not my comfort movie, but like I recognize how good it is. And
I'm going to bring that up to my therapist.
That this is your comfort movie?
Yeah. We'll have to unpack that.
have you ever seen Evil Dead 2013?
What if I told you that was my comfort movie?
I'm going to go to Jill next.
I was kind of laughing at you when you said 4.5 stars because originally, last time I rated this on Letterboxd, I had given it a 4.5 stars. And that was like a month ago. And then I went to see Alien Romulus and I was like, this is an attempt at, reinventing an already well-established and loved franchise. And I love Fede Álvarez's work. And I do really, really like Alien Romulus. I also gave that a 4.5 stars. But after rewatching this and after seeing that, I think that Evil Dead 2013 is just like an immaculate like conception of old material and breathing new life into it. And you know what? I don't care. I had a great freaking time watching it. I'll rewatch it every single year. It's a gnarly gore fest. I'm here for it. It just makes me happy. Nathan.
You didn't give a rating.
Wait a minute. Yeah, what's your rating?
Sorry.
You built us up, and I'm like,
I forgot.
waiting.
I had given it 4.5 stars, but after watching Alien Romulus, this is going to be a 5 stars. Nathan.
Oh boy, I feel bad. I'm going to be significantly lower than both of you. I'm at 3.5 stars. I really like this movie quite a bit, but I'll be honest, I really missed the camp. I really missed Bruce Campbell a lot. That was cheesy. That's the kind of line Bruce Campbell might have used in, Army of Darkness. I thought the gore effects were great. For the movie to be this serious, I think the cast of characters are a little on the generic and boring side. If you're going to go serious, I think you need to put a little bit more work into that. But I still really enjoyed it. So that just kind of puts it not in my upper echelon of movies, but I would definitely watch this again. I had a lot of fun with it, and I would definitely recommend it to people.
Groovy.
Yeah, groovy.
Before we end our review, we're going to do our Nathan, this is an editing nightmare. I apologize.
I'm leaving all of this in.
Oh, no.
Before we end our review, we want to do our content review segment and let you know what we've been doing. I watched an awesome movie on YouTube called Milk and Cereal. Holy shit, this movie is really good. It's getting some buzz right now in the horror community out there. It's a YouTube exclusive movie. You can watch it for free. It was made for $800. It's a found footage movie.
Oh boy.
It's about an hour long, and I'm not a found footage fan, first off. So I was going into this like, okay, it's going to be decent. It looks like it's competent. But holy shit, this movie is really, really good, I think. It does found footage the right way and kind of brings, like, Jill, like you were saying earlier about bringing, like, it into this new age, and it uses it as part of, like, social media and content, and it's really done well. There's a cool twist. There's scariness to it. So I recommend it. If you have a chance, go check it out on YouTube. That's it for me. How about you, Jill?
I haven't been doing much because the new World of Warcraft expansion came out, The War Within. So I've been playing that like a filthy animal. Love it. But I've also been reading Frankenstein, the original text. And I got this cute, like, Barnes & Noble exclusive book. I think it's
I love that cover.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I've never read like the original text of Frankenstein. I've just read like a graphic novel of it before. I don't know, kind of intimidated of reading it, like thinking it might be kind of boring. But so far, it is real old. Yeah. But so far, like, I already know the story. And the writing is really beautiful. Like, I can't believe she was like 18 or something when Mary Shelley wrote that. 16?
I think
Jesus.
so. I look. There will be corrective text on the screen. If we're wrong, but
we do not know.
Yeah,
but it's so good so far, and I'm a sucker for Frankenstein.
Have you ever seen the Universal Monster Frankenstein movie at all?
We're going to be covering Frankenstein on It's Lay's next weekend. So
sweet.
I love the Universal Monsters movies, and especially Frankenstein's one of the better ones.
And Bride of Frankenstein as well. Yeah. Was my favorite. So I'm reading that. Really like it so far. So highly recommend if you were, intimidated like me to read something like that. For movies, I just went to the theater and I watched Afraid, which is like the new Blumhouse movie.
AI Blumhouse movie.
The one about AI, like an Alexa kind of like smart home thing.
Nathan's worst nightmare.
Dude, I had to do this for It's Lays. You know, I went to the movies. I had a good time. I went by myself. I got matzo sticks. I got curly fries. I sat down there and I had me a good ass time. And I read the reviews before I went in there, and they were awful. Like half a star, like 1 star. Like the highest I saw was like 3 stars.
Right.
So I was expecting pure garbage, but it was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I don't know if that's because I read the reviews, but I don't know if you're not into horror, which I don't understand why you'd be watching this podcast, or if you know someone who's not really into horror,
we're an hour in.
Or you're trying to bring someone to a movie that, you know, they're not really experienced in horror, this might be like a good entry level for them because it's not scary. It's not really much of anything, but I don't know why I'm still talking about this stupid movie.
It's the AI.
Yeah. The AI took a hold of your brain and making you talk about it.
Yeah. Apart from that, like I said, I rewatched Evil Dead Rise, love it, and also kind of talks about Bash in Berlin, which WWE event that was last weekend.
Yeah, last Saturday.
Yeah, and you know, had a nice little tag team fight between our faves, the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley and Dominic, and Damian Priest.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Sorry.
Dom and Rio back together.
No, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But anyways, Nathan, what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've prepared a little presentation for what I've been up to.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Yeah. So on Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, this was me. I had Red Sox tickets. I was a very happy boy. I had 4 Red Sox tickets, 1 for myself, 1 for my father, 1 for my nephew, and 1 for my brother-in-law. It was going to be a boys' night out. It was great. Unfortunately, what happened Sunday night was, oh no, I got COVID. And I could not go to the Boston Red Sox game. I was very upset about this.
This is like killing Grandpa.
Yeah. Wednesday came around, and the game started, and Brian Bayo threw 8 shutout innings. And he's very happy, as you can see, because that's an amazing performance. It would have been really awesome to see. And then Tyler O'Neill hit a home run over the Green Monster, which is awesome. It was a 2-run home run. The Red Sox ended up winning the game 3-0. And this was me the whole time.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Damn, it looks just like you.
I know.
Where's your hair?
It's like photorealistic, really.
The COVID took his hair.
It was, so, yeah. Instead, so...
I
don't know why I just did that.
So what did you do when you had COVID? Did you watch anything, or were you like dead?
Well, for the first couple of days, I was like dead, like boiling and frozen at the same time, sweating through my sheets. But after I got a little better, I did end up watching Wild at Heart, which I showed you. I had the Blu-ray of last episode. I hadn't gotten a chance to see it yet.
Oh yeah.
It's the last David Lynch film I hadn't seen other than Dune, and it is pretty incredible. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. Nicolas Cage his character is basically doing an Elvis impression the entire movie.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah.
Already.
I've never seen Laura Dern play like a sex pot bimbo who's showing her tits all the time. Yeah.
Kevin's like, yes, sign me up.
I think both of you
he had me at
movie,
Nick Cage,
honestly.
So.
Yeah. No,
I don't need the tits. I got Nick Cage.
Yeah. It's actually a really funny movie through a lot of it, and then every now and then it goes to that Lynchian, oh God, did you really change the tone like that? I am disturbed. But I honestly think both of you would really love that movie.
I'll have to check it out.
So
it's not streaming anywhere though, right?
I might have to slyly put it in a Dropbox where you might have access to it.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's really great. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes David Lynch. It's a lot less surreal than a lot of his other movies. Very easy to follow the story, even if the story is wacky as hell. Willem Dafoe is in it, and he is amazing, playing a character unlike any other character you've ever seen Willem Dafoe play. He's quite a strange character. I also saw War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh my God.
Wow. You're going through these movies.
I am. At this point, I have to just admit it. I really like these stupid monkey movies. I really do. They're really a lot of fun. They're a lot smarter than I was expecting them to be. And I care about these CGI monkeys. There's characters who are CGI apes that I actually give a shit about, which is kind of crazy. That's about all I got. If go ahead and watch the stupid monkey movies. I think you'll like them.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You like what you like. And what did you guys think of Evil Dead 2013? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back soon with another review, and we're going to be doing my pick on Halloween 2018.
Looking forward
But until
to that
then, back to the padded room with you.